All right, I'd say the biggest news of today or the day before is this Sony. I'm not sure, some kind of conference. I wouldn't even call it like a gaming conference. Something where I think they talked about the business side of things. Um, so it came out that Sony had said they acknowledged that this year is sparse. This is their term, their terminology. Their quote sparse first party lineup for 2015, which we all know that. I mean, they're not saying anything new.
Investor Day conference.
Yeah. So, and they're saying this is a year of investment for them. So, what I read in of the article, basically, they already know they're light on games, light on especially first party games.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to do the other things to kind of get audiences in there. I know they said they want to work on getting the casual audience in. They already have the core audience, but they want to work on keeping them. And I know they want to work on the PS Plus and make that more attractive. And
Right.
I don't understand how you can make that any more attractive. It's a great bargain for anybody. Um, I know they're working on the, I guess, infrastructure of the system and whatnot, this, that, and the other. Which is all fine and dandy. I think it's things you should be working on. But as a system, as a company that's releasing a new system, do you think they should have worked harder to make sure they had more first-party games? Even though, granted, they have some great third-party titles out there. There's been some good games came out this year and last year. But so far this year, there's been some good games that came out. But you think they should have worked harder to get some great first-party games out
Wait,
early
what's
on?
what's a first party game?
Like Sony owns the developer.
Right. I mean, give me an example of something like last year.
Uncharted, like Naughty Dog is owned by Sony. That'd be a first party game. Like Housemarque Resogun. Housemarque is owned by Sony. That's a first party game. So that's first party, like games that would come out on other consoles and whatnot. They're third party games.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodborne just came out. It's a first party game. From Software is owned by Sony.
Okay.
Those are first party games, first party titles. So
Okay. And something like The Witcher would be a third party.
that's third party.
Okay.
Yeah. That CD Project Red is not owned by Sony or Microsoft. I mean, it's kind of made for everybody.
Okay. So yeah, then in that case, yeah, I'd probably be a little disappointed in. But I don't know what their end game is. I mean, if they're trying to, um, do something with technology to help decrease the price of the PlayStation, I saw that somewhere, like mentioned in that article, then okay, I guess, because there's a lot of other third-party games that are taking the interest. But I think, when we get on here and we talk about, what have we been playing, and it's like, well, we've been playing this or this, and there doesn't seem to be that much. I think that lag in games is because of the lack of first-party lineup titles.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because most people who go the Sony way, they go that way because of there's games on that system they want to play, which would be first party titles, games exclusive to a Sony PlayStation. Because you can pick either one of the systems, Microsoft or Sony, and you can play third party games. It doesn't
Right.
matter. You can play what you want. It's just like Microsoft; they have their exclusive games. We have our exclusive games. And so when did the system come out? Was it 2013 it came out? Is that right? It's been out for a year and a half, right? So it's been a while, and like we haven't had a lot of first party titles. I mean, there's still a lot of first party studios out there. They're still so as they're working on stuff. And I think that's why they're saying, hey, this year we're going to be investing the investment year.
But I don't understand why. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it looks like, Sony has been selling the heck out of this console.
And that's just that,
Money on.
yeah, that's the other funny thing. Like they're like selling in record numbers. Like they're doing really well anyway.
So it makes me wonder, like, what they're doing with their money. Why are all these games being pushed back?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you mentioned Uncharted, and it's been pushed back to 2016. You figure if it was a first-party title, Sony could have dumped some extra money into it with all the consoles they've been selling. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with their money.
I don't know. I mean, really on that point, I mean, I think Naughty Dog probably came to them and told them, hey, we just need a little more time. We think the game is good. It's going good. We need a little more polishing time. And Sony as all the good stuff they've gotten out of Naughty Dog, they're like, okay, that's fine. You know,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Naughty Dog knows what they're doing. They can make a
yeah.
good game.
I mean, Naughty Dog knows they have the resources to make what they want to make, but they also want to make a great game. They're not going to put us on a half-cocked game.
That's true. They
So
won't.
so that's that. I mean, to that point, and so all these other companies that we haven't even heard anything from yet. I don't know if you know. Supposedly people got PS4 dev kits like a couple years before it was released.
Hmm.
So either folks, were just kind of getting themselves familiar with the hardware, didn't have an idea for a game, or whatever they may have been doing. So
Right.
I feel like they've already called this year, an investment year. I'm assuming they feel that next year is going to be their big year because I mean a lot of good big games have been pushed to 2016, The Division, Uncharted. They've all been pushed to there, and so I feel like
Isn't that what sports teams say? Isn't that what they say? A building year?
yeah, rebuilding year, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you
New
know,
Year's crap.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, this isn't their year of crap. They're making money hand over fist. They're beating their competition. Another thing that caught my eye in there was how they were talking about how they're looking heavily and working heavily on Project Morpheus, the VR headset.
Yeah.
It's cool tech. VR is really cool tech. I mean, I can't say it off firsthand knowledge because I haven't used it. But reading stuff, watching videos, just another. I mean, it's really cool, but I just don't know what kind of user base is really gonna jump in and hop on that. I think people are really thinking this is the future, and I'm not sure it is. It may be, but I'd hate to see them like dump a lot of time and money in this, and it ends up being nothing. And then
A novelty.
yeah. So I'm hoping they're not like putting all their eggs in one basket. And I'm sure they're not. They're a smart bunch of folks. They have a company. um, but yeah,
Yeah, and to me, I think, I don't know. I mean, there's some games I wouldn't want to play like that.
right. I think
There's some games I would. If I was playing a racing game, sure. If I turned my head to the left or the right, I mean, it would be cool if I could, like, look out my window, or something else. But, I mean, some games, well, okay, let's take, like, Uncharted. Uncharted is third person. How would you play that with Project Morpheus?
yeah. No, I agree
How
with
would you
that.
play that with a VR headset? I mean, okay, well, then you stick something on your head and it weighs your head down, and then you're still behind your character.
Oh yeah, oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm
oh yeah.
saying?
There's no way they would make a third-person shooter game or a third-person view game at all with VR. I mean, VR is going to be specifically made for first-person experiences. I mean, there's no other way to use that technology,
Right.
at least and have it work right. And I'm sure that they're not having they know that they've already thought of that. Every experience is going because they're trying to get you to feel like you're in that world, which is fine and great. Sounds awesome. Um, I just hope there's two things. One, I hope they're not putting a lot into it, and then hope. Oh, I'm sure they probably are putting a lot into it, but I'm hoping that it doesn't drag down the PS4. I don't really think it will. And two, I'm hoping they don't talk about it a lot at E3. I don't want to bog down the show.
I agree with you.
And it's
I
not,
want to hear about some games.
and it's not because I'm uninterested. Because I'm not. I'm not. I'm interested in it. I want to hear about it. I just don't want to hear like most of the show about
Nah, it
VR.
won't be. I don't think it will be.
So yeah, so it's interesting to hear them finally come out and say, yes, we know we have a very thin lineup coming out here, but we're working to say,
To me, the Project Morpheus, back to that, would be the equivalent of having, like, your PlayStation, the Eye.
yeah, yeah, they've had a couple, basically the last couple things that really haven't took off like they thought it would. The PlayStation Eye and the PlayStation Move, both of them,
Hmm.
they really didn't take off. Like I bought neither one.
Oh, I have the PlayStation Eye.
Yeah, because I think you didn't you use it with a game? You use it with
Yeah,
something.
Just Dance. It's fun.
Okay, I believe you.
And you can actually use it. It was something that came with it.
Okay.
Some game that came with it, like these little robots and stuff, and now I can't remember what exactly it was, but it's like the VR.
Uh-huh.
It shows you in your living room, and then it shows these like little robots running around you can like
Oh,
interact with.
oh, you talking about the PS4?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. That's the thing that they had. I forgot what it's called now. You remember
yeah,
people got in trouble with it first because they were having nude shows on it and shit like that on
yeah.
Twitch. Yeah. I don't forget what that's called. But yeah, they had that. Um, so one thing, I mean, they said that I know I saw an article saying that, that they're working on the infrastructure, working on getting all these things to keep the core audience involved and on the machine. I saw they said there's a lot of updates coming, some meaningful ones. The one meaningful update I would really like to see is please let me know when my friends come online. I mean, otherwise I'm checking back to the friends list like every 5 minutes. Hey, is somebody online? Is somebody online? And I'm coming out of the game just to check, and then so there it is. But please, it was on the PS3. It pop up saying, "Hey, Librius just came online." Please,
Yeah,
please put that
yeah.
on there.
Okay, and along with that for me is like folders,
Yeah,
like up at the top, you know, games. I highlight over it and it lists all my games in the order that I've been playing them. PS3 did it.
right,
I don't understand why the PS4 can't do it. I mean, why have I got to scroll through 15 bars worth of mess like to look for stuff?
right. It'd be nice to have another way to customize the. I like the way it looks now. I mean, I
Yeah.
do like the way it looks. It'd be nice to get some more customization options.
Mhm.
So we'll see what they got. I'm sure they're hearing this kind of stuff from the community. So we'll see what they got.
From people who matter, not
Yes,
us.
not us, not
People who actually
not
care.
not one or two of the 20 million that they've sold already. No, we don't matter. We don't matter at all. Um, on a side note, on the VR thing, I don't want to get on a thing on the VR thing because so I just don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But um, I heard someone say, or I read someone thing on the message board that the VR thing, um, they're not sure that they don't think this Project Morpheus, even as good as it looks, is going to be the best VR tech. They think the Oculus is, I believe,
Oculus, yeah.
because Oculus is just working with PC. That's it, and they say you're going to really need some really high end processing power to make this work like a champ. And they
Hmm.
feel like the PS4 is going to be too limited. So that's something to think about. I was like, well, like that could be true.
Yeah.
The PC crowd's going to get the better VR thing, but the thing is, Sony's this is a Sony product. They're making it to work with their machine, so I'm sure it's going to be
It'll be fine, and I'm sure it'll work great with their machine.
yeah. It just might not be the best on the market
Right.
VR wise, which is fine because you're
I probably won't use it anyway. So
yeah. I probably won't buy it anyway. Thing is,
yeah.
the thing is, you're selling it to Sony console owners. You're not selling it to PC people. PC people will buy Oculus. So there that is. So let's move on to the next one. We